Hey, how's it going, Vigilante? Can you hear me okay? I'm using my older camera for this side of the booth. And I figure if I move to the desk, I can switch to the better camera. Cool. Gotta try to come up with a better setup so I can switch back and forth to the desk in the airbrush booth. Right now I'm just trying to get a base coat on, make sure everything's okay before I start detailing up. Figured I could start it now and start the stream, so this way I don't have to worry about it later. Normally I miss stuff here every time I prime, and then when I add on paint, little gunky stuff. Oh, found a nasty spot on that one. set up a bit, but I think we could try another coat. Hey fangirl, how you doing? Just bear with me for a bit, I'm trying to get these ready for paint. I'm hanging in there. Yeah, Firestar's coming along pretty well. The way this timed out is this black cat I'm working on for the same person is ready to be painted, so I'm figure we just have skin up here so I can do both. Except there was an error I missed on the head, so I gotta wait for that to dry. So I figure we could paint a Firestar, at least most of it right now, then I could go on to that. Hey ASV, how you doing? So what we're gonna do is do some shading on Firestar. At least the skin tone's easy on these. Well, her especially, because it's just skin and a mask. So let's throw some raw sienna mixed up with the skin tone. Give it a little bit of a shade. See if we'll push her to the side, her over here. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher. Where is this? There we go. How's that camera look with the color? I'm using the old camcorder for this side of the room. I don't want to dirty up the good one. I just throw color down at the beginning, so there's no set way of doing this. just trying to get in some color, some shades. Go a little bit of darker sienna. I usually hit darker areas just to kind of make my life a little easier. Plus, this is all one solid piece, so it's kind of a pain. A little overspray won't kill me. Gotta try to make sure I get paint in all these crevices. Try some P3 Formula Flesh Wash. I like this stuff. This stuff is pretty decent. Take our original color and water it down a bit. some pale flesh into this as well, orange it up a bit. See how this looks. Hey Raphael, thank you. See how far I can get with this today. I'm pretty sure I can finish up the skin at least. Skin tone's not that bad. It just depends on the look. I just keep blending until I get it where I want it. Some people do harsh shading, other people do washes. I try to stick to just a basic couple colors. So I have my basic color, then I have my darkest color. And then what I do is, you got to think about these two colors to make life simple, and if you could practice. If you use these two colors, this is your lightest, this is your darkest, and then what you do is 10% of both of these, 10%, between here to the darkest. So if you can blend from lightest to darkest, it makes your life a little easier. But then you do the transparencies mixed in with them. Stay away from any kind of like blacks, dark browns, unless it's like a specific character. I mean, that's just the way I go with it, paint, I mean, other people use all kinds of different mediums, pastels. I mean, whatever works for you works. You know what it was too is like in the 90s, I read a lot of comic books from the 90s, and there was that one coloring company called Liquid. I used to look how they colored their comics a lot. I used to kind of like how they colored, even though a lot of people said the 90s were crap, but I mean, if you do it with the airbrush like I'm doing, it's all airbrush control too. Don't overspray it. A little misting goes a long way. No, I don't sculpt my own statues. I customize a lot of stuff. As of right now, there's tons of sculptors on the market. Fangirl, one of the things too you might want to think about, what I did in art school, was you take a board, just like a regular board, and you use white to black. You could do 10% gray, 20% gray, 30%, all the way up. If you practice getting your grays and then you mix onto a colors, it helps you get used to like where you need to add your colors to. And it wasn't just once or twice. They used to make us do that all the time. It was like every week thing, just to get used to gradients, percentages, stuff like that. Hey Raz, how you doing? Yeah, I guess just go simple first. Just mix up a light color and a dark color. Use those two colors to paint up your item and go from there. And then as you get used to things, you start adding more. You start adding washes. You start adding pastels. Try not to get too complex right away. Sometimes simple works better than complex, especially on superhero stuff. I mean, as you can see, I mean, I'm only using a couple colors and it's starting to blend out pretty well. You know, I just did a little bit of darker shadows underneath there, a little darker shadows underneath the chins, under the nose, the cheek, you know, there. And then I'll go back in later with some pastels and I'll work out in here a little bit and bring out the cheeks, lips, stuff like that. So, you know, like I'm doing the transparency pale flesh now, and I'm just using light spray. Just light, nothing too crazy. You know, you can really mess up, you know, with your airbrush. If you're spraying there, you know, you just throw on a little color and it hits it, you know. And then if you really, you know, then you spray too hard. So just a little bit goes a long way on an item. So, and also like, you just got to think about it. Like, so I put a couple drops of raw sienna. I'll put 2 drops of the regular, and then what I'll do is maybe throw some water in there to kind of thin it down a bit, squish it around. So I got a little bit of a darker color, but it's kind of light. So let's see if I'm in the camera. Go underneath there a little bit. Make sure I don't break the fingers. So just little tiny spurts. Thanks, Fangirl. I appreciate the donation. Anytime I can help out, I will. So, I like the way her chest is now. You know, I mean, of course, it's popping out a little bit more. It's got some shading on it. The face needs a little bit more work. So, the color I had in here, what I'll do is I'll just throw some more of the original color, lighten it up a bit. So then that kind of gives me like, I don't know, maybe we're back down to 30%. So spray out the color a little bit. So it's a little bit lighter. You know, we go back there on the cheeks a little bit here. Lower the pressure a bit. And then we'll do is throw some more of the original color in. Try to hit some highlighted areas of the upper lip, cheek, the bottom of that chin area. and just start working. So yeah, we're getting there a little bit. Let's see, how does that look a little bit better? Yeah, it's a cold one here today too, so I'm trying to get a lot done inside instead of the garage, even though I got the heater. Yeah, I collect myself. I have a bunch of my own collection in the TV room. I got to do an updated video once I clean the house out. Now, one of the things too you got to be careful of is if there's any shadow coming from something. So there is a little bit of shadow, so I got to kind of get in here and alright, there we go. See, like I was getting a little bit of a shadow under here, so I was missing this part. A lot of my collection consists of customs that I made for myself, because there's a lot of characters that are never going to get made, so I make them myself. Alright, so at this point, what I normally do with these paints, hit it with Tester's Dull Coat. It sort of melts the paint a little bit. Not really doing it to seal it, I'm sort of doing it to melt the paints. Sometimes errors pop out that I'm not seeing. It dries fairly fast. It helps seal it too, but it also kind of dries up fast enough. These are mostly the Garage Kit's flesh tones, so this works. If you want to speed it up, hit it with a blow dryer. Now, one thing about skin tones too is it looks like an alien now. And you could actually overdo it too. If you feel like you're at a good position, stop. But if you think you're not there, you can overdo your item. So she's gonna have a yellow outfit and red hair. So you can kind of throw these next to it and start to see where the colors are. So I think I need to just lighten up some areas here and there. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people are always looking for custom heads and stuff. You know, I got my my Kid Flash, my Captain Marvels. What else did I got my Power Girl collection. I gotta paint up the Nate Gray kit that I got. That's another grail for me. As far as making specific characters, I think I'm almost done. I gotta make a Sage from Extreme X-Men again. That's another one I gotta make. Yeah, it's getting there. So at this point, I'll probably do some pastels, a little bit here and there. I think I just want to shade up underneath the lip a little bit more. Nah, working for the company is not really my thing. I kind of enjoy what I do now. Just, you know, making stuff for people, fixing, repairing. I'm my own boss. Plus, I know working for the companies, you're pretty much not really working for them. You're working for the suits at, like, Marvel. You know, something you think would look good and you think you know the fan base would want. The suits are like, no, that's not how we want our character to look, and then everything gets scrapped. Plus, I worked for 11 years for a company, and I got let go, and it was just like, see you later. So I'll just keep doing this for now. You know, you see so many 2D artists out there that make an amazing living just doing, you know, drawings all day. Patreon commissions. Might as well do it with the statue market too. No, Fangirl, I don't have a Patreon. Everyone's been telling me to do it, but the problem is I don't know, you know, what to really do in it. Statue work is not something where, you know, you're a 2D artist and you could bang out a drawing in a weekend. So it's kind of hard to see what kind of perks I can do. I know you could just do a Patreon and just let people donate and that's it, but I think what I might do is just more focused on the streams and, you know, maybe like, you know, donations that way type thing. Because I don't know what to do for Patreon. I have no clue. And I can't really spread everything out because commissions, repairs, YouTube special videos, streaming, and then a Patreon, I don't know what, I just would be just way too much. But if you got any suggestions, let me know. Alright, I can think about that. It's not a bad suggestion. Alright, just to cheat a little bit, this is some blush pastels. Because I can't get in here with the airbrush. Just kind of make it pop a little bit more. Do you think that would go over well though, Fangirl? I mean, just a Patreon, just put specific videos in there or something? Alright, I'll have to look into it a little bit more. See if there's something I can try to add into a rotation or something like that. Yeah, sea blush is a good way to cheat on this. Yeah, I'm doing an instruction video now with the Garage Kit's Ava bust. That's for their products. Like I said, I could do lots of videos, but it would be either just focus on Patreon or YouTube and not really the commissions. But the commissions are more important than anything. Yeah, see, it's very hard to kind of come up with this and still have time to do everything. You know, it's I'm a one-man operation, so there's a lot going on at the moment. Yeah, the companies are also bogged down by their licensing too. You know, like if their license company is dictating what they can and can't do, it takes forever, so you can't always fault the company. That's what I think a lot of people forget. You know, they could have 30 projects done, but, you know, the licensing company's like, well, we don't like the ear on that character. We don't like the color on this shin, you know, stuff like that, so... And then they got to make their money, so they'll make the same characters over and over and over again. So, nothing you can do about that either. Yeah, I've tried the sponsor thing, but a lot of the companies I kind of, you know, I don't think they would approve of this certain products. You know, like say this kit is not licensed, they might not want to like be part of that. I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, as long as people keep giving me work, you know, and I could pay the bills and do videos, I'm happy. I mean, anything extra is great, but... And I think the other thing too is I'm not really that big of a YouTuber too as well to get a crazy sponsors. You just got to keep at it, Victor. That's all I did from day one when I got on YouTube. Just started working every day, taking on more work, trying more stuff, getting the skills up. It's a work ethic too. You got to make sure you get in the studio and you get stuff done. You can't just sit there and like hope it comes to you. You got to keep working. Grab the wrong color. All right, I'll start looking into it this weekend, fangirl. See if I can start something up. See how it goes. I mean, if anyone else has got some suggestions, let me know. Trying to work out these cheekbones with sculpt is a little weird. Yeah, I mean, like I said, anything helps. I don't know. I gotta mull it over. I know this year I was gonna try some different things. See if any of them pan out. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty decent. I gotta go with some pastels on the face later. So I can seal it. Alright, let's see if we can get Black Cat going. This black cat should have been done a while back, but we had some delays with the safe, really. So hopefully I get this finished up soon too. Yeah, paint's dried up for me for a bit too there for a while. I remember buying like what was it? Some of those Alclads and Spaztecs for like $6 a pop, and then at one point they were going for like 12. So yeah, things are a pain. Yeah, everything dried up. I think, like I said, everyone forgot when they shut down the world, they shut down everything. So all those minerals and pigments and stuff you get that mix up paints was stopped. Factories were stopped producing them. And then while people were home, a lot of people picked up hobbies while they were home. So people were ordering paints and, you know, models and all kinds of stuff. So it was just like a domino effect there for a while. I mean, hell, look, it took me a while to get the Ave sculpt. Ran out of that for a bit. Chris, when I shade, I shade with, as I said before, the Fangirl. This is my lightest color, this is my darkest color. So I do like the 10%, 20%, 30, all the way to 100% between these two colors. And then I'm using Garage Kit's Transparency Pale and Bright to sort of add a little extra. Pale is a little bit orange, bright is a little bit red. So it's just a matter of blending these colors together to get a nice gradient. Actually, you know what? I'll show you something I'm working on. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak. This is the Garage Kids bust I'm working on. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of blending. So she's a little bit more of a tanner color than what I'm doing here. But it's all about blending. So you have your lightest color and your lightest color and your darkest color. And it's just a matter of getting gradients going around those colors type stuff. So right now I'm just kind of putting back the lighter color. Yeah, she's coming together pretty well. Hopefully I'll have the first video of just prepping your kit up this weekend. The second video is I gotta edit the hell out of it. So I'll probably do some of it on Sunday. So Black Cat's a little bit, she's got a little bit more reddish into her than Firestar. Firestar kept a little more orangey. Definitely got to use pastels for the center of her chest here because I'll never get a good clean paint in there. That's one thing that sucks. In this bottle, what I did is I put just regular water with like 10% or like a little bit of alcohol. I use this to kind of thin down some of my paints. I don't know if the alcohol really does anything, but in art school they just kind of told us to use alcohol so that it doesn't grow like any kind of fungus or anything. Maybe it helps dry it a little faster. What's smart? The water and alcohol? All I remember is in art school we used to mix up all our paints in those little, back in the day, those film cups, you know, like when you do the old film in those little black cups. And what happened would be after like 3 or 4 days it would grow mold, so they told us to mix it with alcohol. I don't know. Trying to make that chest pop a little bit more. So you can see I did the shading all the way, blending up to nice highlights up top. So it's just about just blending. See you later, fangirl. Thanks again for the donation. We'll look into the Patreon down the line, see how things work out. You don't need the 91%. You could use 70%. Actually, you should use the 71% for the paints anyway. 91 is a little too, or 99 is too potent. I just, I mean, I use the 70% for the paints. I have 99%, but I was using this for when I was cleaning out my computers and redoing the thermal paste. So, I would stick to the 70 if anything. Because the 99 and 91 evaporate so fast on you. There we go, getting those cheekbones a little bit more. Let's hit this with the... Time to melt all the paint. See what she looks like in a few. I don't use alcohol to clean my paints. I do that whatchamacallit, that one thing I found from the one guy's channel, Glass Plus, with some alcohol and water. I did it on my channel. It's actually a cheap cleaner, and you're not wasting a lot of money. Her face is a little tricky. you guys can find the alcohol, good for you. I'm still running off those bottles I got back in, I think actually, January of last year. So it's kind of like, every time I go to a store, I check. I haven't seen any lately. There we go, it's looking a little bit better. Hey Raccoon, I'm doing both actually. Trying to get this face right. Sorry, I'm just at a little bit of a stump on this face, trying to get it to work right. Almost there. Which black cat is that? Was that the is that the one where she looks like she's running? So try a little bit. think that's where I wanted to go with it. So there we go. A little bit of blush with the cheeks, but not too much. I think that works for her. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. To her. Break out the old blush. Kind of hit it over here. Make those pop a little bit more. Alright, so I think we gotta do some smoky eyes for Black Cat. Alright, let's see if we can show you what the hell I'm gonna do. One drop of Payne's Spray, actually a little bit more than that, and then some lavender. that works for Black Cat. Got some nice dark shade in there. Hit it with a little bit of makeup next. Can't do it to Starfire, can't see her eyes. So if anyone was wondering, I have this, what is it, HPB airbrush that I go at low PSI. And this is kind of all I really ever use. This is for like really fine, transparent detail stuff. Because I just need something that can do stuff without getting clogged. And you gotta put the PSI back up. Hey Magnus. Yeah, just kind of a mellow stream of just painting up some items today. Where did I put the cap? Alright, let's kind of come back a little bit here. Okay. If anyone's wondering, I find just women's makeup is easier than using charcoal or pastels. As long as you seal them, you're good to go. Although I don't like to use pastels too much, just for certain things like this I can't get into. Just to darken that up a bit. For her, these things are great, cheap, get them off eBay. Not going too crazy with the pastel, just enough to kind of hit it in an area that can't really get hit with the airbrush. Like even on the neck, if you needed to kind of just lighten it a bit. And if you want to give this part a little bit of a pop, kind of works. too. A bit here. Now for her, to make her eyes pop a little bit more. Let's try this one a bit. See how this one works. Yeah, I think that makes her pop a little bit more. Without going too crazy. That works. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. I think you just gotta hit that with a little bit of lightness on the airbrush, and I think we can seal these up. Some of this pastel got mixed into the other color, so I gotta kind of touch up the spot. Okay, that works. Alright, so whenever I do my pastel work, I don't use this to seal. Because this stuff will melt those pastels sometimes, because it just has bad reactions to it. So usually at this point I kind of seal everything with the car paint. So I spray my car gloss on everything. It shines it up to all hell, but it protects the hell out of it. And then I dull it down with matte varnish from Mecca. This stuff will flatten it back down even flatter than what it looks now. Except this stuff stinks, so you make sure you do this in a booth or outside or something. So let's get this sealed up. I mean, if you look at them, they're shiny as all hell. You don't want to seal your item and it look like that at the end. You really want to... Sometimes if I go to seal it and then I put the Mecca varnish on it, I'll see something I have to touch up and I'll do it. But this really protects the hell out of it. So you just let that dry for a good 15-20 minutes or so. And then you seal everything up. I don't use a tack cloth. You mean for like anything around here? Not really. What I'll do is after I do the skin tones, if I feel that I have any kind of overspray, I'll just hit it with my sandpaper and just kind of buff it out. But no, I rarely, like, once I seal it up with the car paint and then I do this, I really don't have much of a texture. Ever since I built the airbrush booth, all my dust kind of goes away, so I don't get any kind of overdust like I used to. So I don't, unless it's like if I go to spray between her legs, then something in there I might have to kind of clean up as I paint. I don't like any Krylon paints really. Krylon to me has always caused issues. So I love this stuff here. This stuff makes everything, just goes through an airbrush and I'm done. I've had issues in the past with Krylon where even though I shook up the can and I sprayed it, all white gunk came out everywhere and it destroyed my item. So I don't bother with the Krylon stuff. I don't have any problem with the blush or anything with that I put on the item. Like right now the head's shiny, but it's sealed up. The only time you might have an issue with the women's makeup and the acrylics is if it's like the oily, like smooth stuff. If it's not the powder, you need the dry matte powder. But if you do, even on regular pastels, I've seen that this stuff will destroy it. It'll like bleed it. It'll like cake up. So I don't use this with any pastels. I mean, if the guys at Sideshow use the matte and it works for them, more power to them. But personally, I'd rather have more control through an airbrush with a matte finish on a final area than something out of a can where I don't know what's coming out of that can. Like even sometimes spraying that gloss paint might come out messed up. So I always test on the background. But I mean, even in art school, I used to use the Krylon flat, and it would just destroy my oil painting. So I go with what's safe. I just stick to this. like this car paint dries fairly fast. I mean, it's like, you know, I sprayed fairly heavy. I forgot the back of it though, even though you won't really see it. And sort of adding the car paint and then the matte finish, it's added as another layer of the skin, so it kind of feels a little bit velvety, I guess you could say. It's a little bit weird term, but she's got a nice tan look to her now. But once I start adding the reds and the yellows, looks like she got a nice sunburn. For now, but that's just kind of because I'm sitting in this booth with it. The only bad thing about this Mecha Varnish stuff is it seems to clog up your airbrush though. I spray right out of the bottle though. I don't know if it's really meant for airbrushing through the bottle, but it works. They have a satin and they have a gloss. I love all of them. Now you don't have to use the car paint. If you just do your airbrushing and you like where you're at and you want to flatten it, you could just go straight to this if you wanted to. The only reason why I add the car paint to it is because I don't like when like this paint absorbs other colors. Like say you're doing the black outfit and it's a watery paint by accident, these paints without sealing them away did sort of just absorb the pigment and it just goes everywhere. So it's kind of like a protected layer in a sense. See, I mean, that car paint pretty much set up already almost. I didn't spray too heavy, but so grab our airbrush. Alright, so I have to touch up an area over there. Not a big deal. As you can see, it dulls it up. It's not shiny anymore. Got a nice protected layer. I mean, I really would let it sit up for the whole night before I do any kind of masking or any kind of like next stuff to really cure. You don't want to press your luck, but at least at this point, if I see something, I could kind of go in and fix it if there's a little bit of a mess up. Like, I don't like this cheek over here, so I'm going to fix that now. If you're getting dust issues, which you're probably using, your paints are either drying up too fast, or you're not, like, do you have an airbrush booth? You know, like in faces, if it's possible, try to use more washes or thinner colors, like this is a transparency bright flesh. As we talked about earlier, this is water mixed with like 10% of alcohol. So if you want to thin down your waters with a little bit of, you know, your paints with that, it's kind of hard to say what's going on unless I saw it. But you probably got something going on with your paint. Is it the brand of paint? Is it the overspray? I mean, we could try and brainstorm it now, see what the hell's going on with you. So, like, I'm gonna do some of her cheek. So what I'll do is I'll put a couple drops of the original color. We'll put 1 or 2 drops of the darker color, which dried up on the end. And then I'll put a couple drops of this water with the alcohol. Shake it up a bit. It needs to be a little darker. And I just need to So like I said, even though I did the car paint and then I did that over top, I could still go back in and touch it up, which I'm doing. This face is just really tricky to get the right. I think I just put the blush down too far. I think that's what it was. I don't think it's because of the mask. I think it's just because of the face is just a little. You know what it is? Is like this face has like a cheekbone sort of you can work with. This one over here is just kind of flat. So I'm just trying to get it to work for me. Leo, I did a video on my lights in the studio. I put these LED lights up. Yeah. kind of see. So there's a warm and a cool, throughout the whole studio. So each one is kind of set up with warm and cool in the whole entire studio. So that way it's not just pure bluish bulbs or reddish bulbs. And then that's pretty much the best lighting I could fit in the whole studio. So I have all these strip lights in the studio. I used to have the spotlights, but they weren't light enough. I tried lighting in this booth here. It washed everything out on me. So I figured I did some research, and those are just LED strip lights, warm and cool, and it's the best lighting I could get in here. Plus, my whole studio, I painted the room in gloss white to get a lot of shine, because the flat just darkened everything in here too much. So I got better lighting. It may not look good in the camera, but in person it's fine. I think that works better for her. I think adding the blush on her doesn't work. I gotta stay away from that. I think that's the problem. Yeah, Chris, you really should get a booth. It'll make your life a lot better, trust me. When I had that crappy autograph booth, I did okay with the faces, but the problem is whenever I sprayed between legs, dust collected between the legs, something horrible. Because what happens is the dust is not, it's just kind of floating around, and then when you spray it, it's pulling that extra dust into there. So if I would spray here, dust would collect underneath here. And if I would spray underneath here, dust would collect over there. So you really need a booth. You got to get that extra dust away. If you could get yourself a booth or set something up, you'll see a major difference with dust. So, I mean, even that autograph booth really helped with the dust in the studio. It really didn't take out a lot of the heavy spraying. That's kind of, I should have did this booth like years ago, but I just put it off. Yeah, Leo, just whatever light bulbs you use, just go, it's like, what is it, natural light and daylight. I think that's kind of like warm and cools. The reason why I did the LEDs though is because it's less energy. Brighter, less energy, and more light throughout the whole studio. Not really good with like lighting for photo setups, like photography. I'm still kind of tweaking my photo setup, but you know, in art school, the one professor was like, always do warm and cool lights, balance your lights in the studio. Because if you have all the like daylights, which I think are cooler, everything will look blue, and then you might paint things too warm. Hey Terrell, just painting, chatting, hanging out on a Friday pretty much. Hopefully things are going well with you. I think that works for her. Yeah, no, any blush would just ruin that. For her, it works. Yeah, that works for her. Yeah, I know a lot of people are glad it's Friday, but over here, it's freezing out. It's like in the teens with the wind, actually in the single digits with the wind chill today. Okay, so at this point, always let this dry up for the night. And we can work on the base a bit. Got a little bit of an idea what to do with that. I can't wait for the warm weather again. I hate the cold. I can't function in this weather. I am going to add a couple cracks of, like, this is breaking up from the flame just for the hell of it, just to add a little extra. So I need black paint, reddish paint, and yellow. I don't know how you guys can handle it, but I just want to curl up in a ball on these cold days. Alright, let's see if we can get this camera down a little. I was in the garage working today too to get a bunch of stuff done. I had the heater going, but still was too damn cold. So the goal is we're going to attach the flames at the end. But for right now, I want to add like cracks. Just for the hell of it. See how it looks. The idea is we'll have a crack coming down. I'm gonna add the black first, and then I'll do some red and yellow inside the crack. Kind of just have a little fun with it. Yeah, I would have done a oil heater or something too for the garage, but knowing my luck with all these chemicals, I'll probably blow something up. But I got baseboard heat in the house, so it works. Yeah, I used to have one of those, if you watched the video, I had those space heaters, but they didn't blow out heat. I should have got rid of those things years ago. Of course, I had to have some paint on my finger. Good thing with car paint, it comes right off. Let me wash my hands. See, now you guys just want me to call it a night now and just go relax. It's starting to look like it's getting cracked up a bit. that adds a little bit more to the base now. Alright, I think we could start painting up the flames a bit, kind of bring it together. That was just some adhesive promoter, just so I can get some paint to stick to this thing probably. So we're going to try to use some, where is it? Got some gold pearl. Let's see what we have here. Some interference red. Candy apple red. I'll see what we have after those. So this is some gold metallic. sort of cheating to get some of that yellow back. Hey Thomas, yeah, we got the figure skin tone done. Working on the base now. Hopefully by next week we can actually start painting up the outfit. And I think what is it? Next week we got the outfit, the gloves, the boots. And then the hair and eyes and face. We're almost there. Almost there. So we got some candy apple red from Spastic. It's a good clear coat. Nice and strong. So I'll help pop this a little bit. Don't have to spray much on the yellow, it goes a long way. Like it's gonna blend okay. So I think once that's attached, that'll be a decent looking base for her. I want to go overboard with the pearls in the inside, just enough to make it look like it's swirling. Alright, so that's going to have to set up. Got to clean out your airbrush a lot when you use the Spaztec stuff. I think that works good enough for that. I'm probably going to have to do some little sealing on here a bit and do some more stuff. Or maybe just another coat of car paint. Actually, you know what? Let's see if gloss varnish over that area works okay. Hey Johnny, yeah, we started a little bit earlier today. Just the way things worked out. I think I need to... hey Marco, I got rid of my ultrasonic cleaner years ago. The thing doesn't work. Everyone told me to buy one and get the jewelry cleaner. It's like you get those $8, $9 bottles off eBay or $6 bottles and you pour it in. They never cleaned my airbrush. I left that thing on for 20 minutes, a half hour, an hour. I let it sit soak in that stuff overnight. It never cleaned my airbrush at all. So honestly, I can't help you with that anymore. Those things don't work. Yeah, I guess some people say that, you know, the ultrasonic cleaners work great for them. But for me, it doesn't do anything. Because you know what it is? Like in the nozzle here gets caked up. And even if you pull out the needle and you use the ultrasonic cleaner, that stuff still has to come out of that nozzle. So I would always have to break it down, and by then I could just use my brush and clean it out and I'm clean. So I figure I just use the Winsor Newton stuff. Literally I can clean every airbrush in like 5 minutes. You know, break it down like a friggin' army dude. And use this stuff, clean out my airbrushes, and I'm clean in like 5 minutes. But like I said, it's each person swears by the jewelry cleaners, but for me it doesn't work. I figure I got that brush cleaner bottle, what is it, like a $12 bottle like 7 years ago. Still using it to this day. Whereas the jewelry cleaner, I was buying those things off of eBay. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Cold as hell today. These flames are those figure art model things you get off of eBay for like resin, like action figures, for like $17 kits. So I just chopped them all up. I sculpted them in. I just did some painting on them, and then it's just gonna go like that. And I got a flame base. Cheap, simple. Hey JC, how you doing? I'm sorry, did I get that in the camera? Probably not. That's where we're at with her. Here. So we got the face done. Well, not all of it, but we at least got the skin tone done. I got to do the lips and all that. And then we got the base done. Well, at least close to it. Simple base. Should work out pretty well. Not sure yet if we're going to add the flames to our hands. I think I'm going to, but we'll see if the client wants to add them or not. That's where we're at with her. And we also worked on Black Cat today. Got her face painted up. So that's where we're at with those items. Be right back, I grab some drink. Well, what I did was, I probably can't do anything like that because that would require way more material, sculpting, and stuff. Toying with the idea is I cut off these flame pieces from, whatchamacallit, one of those other flames. And I'm thinking of just kind of painting them a little bit red and use some epoxy and make it look like she's got flames in the palms of her hands, like so. So that's kind of like what I figured, you know, I would do. I mean, with all these sculpts and materials, I mean, you could do anything you want, but it's always a price that's the problem, you know. You could sit there and you could sculpt a crazy flame base, you could have it come up to her hands, you could do all this stuff. But then, if you want to mold it in clear resin, you have to get by the mold. You have to make it, you know, make the casting in clear resin. You have to engineer it. So there comes a price point limit with a lot of this stuff. I mean, if somebody contacted me and they said they wanted this whole elaborate thing, then, you know, and, you know, they wanted to pay the cost, that's fine. But sometimes you gotta just say, okay, this is kind of what I want, and just use something cheap to come up with the base. I mean, just this stuff alone is fairly expensive, and then if you want, but I know what you're saying, you could do some really cool looking stuff, you know. Just can't go that far with it. I mean, there's a lot of projects I've talked to people. I say, well, we can do this, we can do that, but once you start saying, well, it's, you know, $40 for a trial thing of clear resin and $100 for mold, and then there's all the sculpting, and then there's the labor to make everything, before you know it, it's like, okay, forget it. That's just the way, that's just the nature of the hobby. So the black cat was something I was doing for somebody too for a while, but we had a hiccup and it was delayed. But finally I got the safe door was destroyed, so I had to rebuild the safe door. So that's got to be all painted up. We redid her hair. We broke off the piece and I resculpted her hair. You can see all the resculpt area. So hopefully she'll get done the same time Firestar's done. So those will be finished up. I'm also working on my my nose art girl kit, or Nas, whatever you want to call her. Jessie from Garage Kit sent me the head, so I just have to rework the head on her. But I'm getting there with this one. I love this kit. I'm doing a video series on this as well, but this is my side project. I do it later at night or whenever I have time. Today I just worked out the peg in her knee. I got a lot more to go on her. Getting there. But I think that's where we're done for the night. I can't really do anything else to these until they cure up for the day. I don't want to push my luck with this stuff. So I think next week, I'm probably going to work on Black Cat during the week because I got to get her done. But I think next week we'll probably have... Maybe we could do some of the face and then we can mask it off and I can actually do the outfit. I'm going to try to do like a nice pearlized white. I mean pearlized yellow. Not too pearlized. And then the gloves are going to be like a leather. It's going to be like a leathery orange and a leathery red. I think that'll kind of break up the item a lot more. Yeah, other than that, I think that's it. So I'm going to close out the stream early. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Hopefully next week we can get this pretty much closer to finished up. And then we can move on to something else. So you guys have a good weekend and stay warm.